Right. Welcome. Third match of the day.
Okay. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the second semi-final of the Ladies Australian 2025 Open Championships. At the service end, on the Dutch Real Tennis Association, Saskia Bollerman. At the receivers end, from the Bordeaux Real Tennis Club, Leah van der Zwalmen. This is a best of 3 6-game set. Best of luck. Love all.
It's a fantastic first rest to get us underway.
Who's commentating today, Sammy?
I'd ask the same question, Pete, but even I'm not sure I'm here today. It is.
It's been a long week.
It's swelteringly hot. It's been a long week, and everyone's everyone's going a little bit crazy on this Saturday at the Australian Open.
$30.15.
30 degrees outside today in Hobart, which I think is about 85 Fahrenheit, so pretty warm conditions.
Of course, throughout the day the court's only going to get hotter and hotter. It won't start cooling down on the tennis court until about probably 11 p.m. tonight.
And chase.
That'll be about the time the dance floor hots up, I reckon, at the dinner tonight, Sammy.
Of course, we have got the 150th and the Australian Open joint dinner tonight. Yeah, it could be some.
Can you say sesquicentenary?
No, I don't think anyone can. Is the point, Pete? For some reason, they made it impossible to pronounce.
Cam would refuse to even try. Who do you think's going to win today?
I think tennis is going to be the winner today, Pete. Leah is likely to come out with come out on top of this one, but Sass is playing extremely well. She towed me up on the table tennis court yesterday.
For worse than 3, 40, 30. A yard worse than the last.
Interested to see what Leah serves today, because I know she's talked to it a fair bit. Around what she's serving on this court, just adjusting her angles a little bit.
Yeah, she has been getting in nice and early on pretty much every morning of the tournament. Doing either solo practice or practice with one of the locals.
Advantage to the server.
Rare error on the backhand there. Usually rock solid off the back walls.
Advantage
Bit of
to
aggression
that.
there for Leia. I suspect we'll see a lot of that today.
And chase worse than 3.
So, Sammy, I think it's probably worth both of us confirming that we are stone cold sober.
It is.
I'm not sure that every commentary team that's been before us this week could have said the same thing.
No, I can guarantee you that. It's been as I said, it's been a long week so far. Everyone's coping in their unique ways. I'm holding out for the dinner tonight, personally.
Yes.
It's should be a good time. The
Hobart tournament dinners are legendary. Unfortunately, we can't talk about any of the
Advantage to the
details
server.
of
Chase
past
worse than
dinners.
3.
no. Great serve there from Saskia.
Game. 1 game to love. Fault.
So, talking offline, Sammy, you said you thought Claire'd be watching this game like a hawk.
Yes, I didn't realise at the time that she'd be marking.
Worse than door, thank you.
Obviously, she's going to be meeting the winner of this match in the final. So. Very wise choice of Claire to mark this one. Get a good bit of intel on her opponent.
And chase the line.
I feel like Claire probably knows her opponent's games pretty well. Do you think this marking will make the difference for her?
No, absolutely not. But I feel like it's always a.
Assuming Claire makes the final too. She's not played her semi yet.
She has. It was this morning.
Really?
Yeah, it was the first match this morning.
The first match. That's why I didn't see it.
Yes. It was
How did that go?
reasonably swift defeat of Josie Tan from Melbourne.
30 love to the server.
Love
First
and one.
chase is Hazard, worse than the door.
Thank you, Paddy.
Beautiful. Coffee's just arrived from Paddy for Sizzle My Dizzle. Done. Thank you. Thank you for opening the door too, Diz.
40 love, chase the line.
It's feeling like a sauna in here, I've got to say.
It's really hard to tell which one's better.
Game. Time, please. Thanks, Sas.
Forcing a loose return from Bollerman there. Now, having spoken to Leia last night, Pete, what is it that she's likely to be serving the majority of this match and the next one?
15 love.
Assuming she wins.
Assuming she wins.
Yep.
Of course.
I think there'll be some quite high slow bobbles.
Fault.
I assume the slide ball serve fault wasn't going to be part of your answers.
Good shot.
30 love.
did very well there. That was very tight serve. Didn't have a lot of room to move. Hobart bounce.
15-30.
That was a great serve there, though. I'd just like to comment that that serve is particularly hard to read.
Down. 30 all.
The spin that Leia's putting on that particular high serve, the one that goes around the outside, is getting the ball stuck in the penhouse very effectively.
Second serve. And better than 2.
Hobart bouncing home for Saskia. After
Sammy, I'm going to give a shout out to my son Louis, who's just before this game started finished his match in the Australian Indoor Hockey Nationals in Canberra,
crikey,
representing
Moses.
Tasmania in the under 14 age group.
Well done, Louis.
Yeah, I think Canberra's similarly bakingly hot.
Probably is.
I suspect the tin shed that they play in there is even hotter than the real tennis court down here.
Yeah, very probably, especially with a significantly larger number of hot and sweaty people on the
30 all. First chase is the first gallery.
on the reduced size hockey field.
The chase.
Well constructed point there by Leo.
30 receiver. Chase worse. Sorry, chase better than 2. Stroke on a game. 2 games to 1. Stroke. 15 love.
Seen enough of this game, Sammy, to feel like that we've found a rhythm in the match.
I don't think so. Especially if Sats puts the ball away like that.
40 love.
She's doing a fantastic job of controlling the servers in so far.
Thank you. Thank you. That's the game. 2 games all. 15 love.
I think it's been Leia's really concentrating on the back end. Sass's back end.
Just to say that was,
15 all.
yeah. Sass is doing a fantastic job on attacking the forehands from all around the court. That cut volley is incredibly effective of hers.
Chase better than 3.
Very focused on not letting that ball get to the back ball, which is a solid strategy. If you get the opportunity to come.
Exactly.
Beautiful shot then.
The court, of course, rewards rather a good aggressive play style, as we saw in the previous match with KB versus Bentel Matthews. KB was doing a fantastic job of cutting off as many balls as he could with his incredible forehand volleys.
To the server. First chase is better than 3. .40-15. Chase worse than 2. Game 7 is 3 games to 2.
So I'm sure this has been discussed, Sammy, but you'll see players in Hobart serving the ball, those high serves.
Chase worse than second gallery.
That's between the windows up there. Is that in?
Yes. The way I like to say it to everyone visiting is that anything blue's in.
No.
Fantastic there.
Love.
So even the little strips around the main wall window there, all in. Above the windows on the service wall is in.
Serve.
Even the blue above the timbre?
The blue above the timbre, but not the top of the timbre itself.
Interesting.
So I've only ever seen it happen once, but it can come off there. Wow.
What about if the ball goes over a rafter but not
There's
the
love.
rafter?
It must touch a rafter to be called out, which
Well,
is sometimes easier marked by the players,
second serve.
and sometimes allows for some ridiculous gets.
That high serve
15,
bounce
30.
on this penthouse, very hard to read.
An inconsistent old penthouse like this is always going to reward the server more than the returner.
That serve, you know,
One chase, worse than
very
second.
hard to read, a volley, and then almost hitting the nick.
Mm.
40-30, one chase.
Ronaldson-esque precision there from Sass. Of course, the Dutch Field Tennis Association's home court is Radley, where Chris Ronaldson is the head pro. He's over visiting to set up the Sydney court. which should be opening in the coming weeks.
I was hearing that Sass's home court was RMTC.
It may as well be with the amount of times that we've seen her in Australia in recent years, but sadly it
40-30
isn't.
to the server. Chase worse than the second gallery.
Good aggression on that shot. Struck very cleanly.
Hitting the ball in there with that kind of pace is going to get rewarded gratefully.
Advantage receiver.
Would you say, Pete, that the slightly more aggressive play style is going to favour Leia or Saskia?
Leia would be my pick.
Stroke. And the game. Receiver leads 4 games to 2.
Great bounce there.
And worse than 2.
Both players really retrieving well, I think. Certainly in the last few minutes.
Definitely.
I think we probably have got to a sense of how this game's looking, and for my mind, Leia's aggression and just heavier ball, putting Sass under a fair bit of pressure. She's getting the first 1 or 2 back, but I think that there's a consistency in Leia just getting that ability to put her under pressure for long enough.
No strokes.
That she's
First chase is 2 and 3.
the majority of the points.
I would agree, and she's turned up the heat in the last couple of games, especially in terms of aggression. She's just gone for that ball perhaps maybe 10% more of the time than she was. Serves like that, it's going to be very, very easy for her.
15 love time. Few chases worse than 2.
So, Sammy, just closed the door in Sauna HQ. Was that to keep the sun out, or so we can't hear the buffoons outside?
Mostly to keep the sun out. Rewarded.
Very, very good retrieve there.
30 love.
I mean, I haven't seen Steno this morning, so
No,
perhaps we're safe.
I just saw Brett McFarlane. I thought it'd be better to
On fault.
leave it closed.
Yeah. Smart.
Just
15-30. On fault. One fault. 40-30. Juice.
They are definitely displeased with that one.
So advantage to the server.
Yesterday's game, Sass, against Jess.
Game. 5 games to 2.
I think like the tightness of the serve she's getting today, she's just a metre or so further back.
Chase,
we see,
better than the last
shots like that
gallery.
quite as consistently.
Yeah, if we see Leia serve them up a bit shorter, then we can almost guarantee that Sass is going to try and attack that ball into the corner.
Yes,
And worse than 6.
2 perfect examples there.
Yeah, a bit shorter that serve there on that.
Backhand drag. It's a difficult serve to master. I was having a conversation with Saskia yesterday about her racket sport upbringing, and it's no wonder that I got trounced 6-2 at real table tennis in the side competition, the Real Table Tennis Australian Open, which is currently being held upstairs at the Hobart Real Tennis Club. I had no chance. Sass, if you listen to this back, well played. I had absolutely no chance. She's likely to be a contender in the final, I expect. I was told that she had played nothing but table tennis during COVID.
Yeah, it is. It's actually my son's. No strokes, first chase, better than last gallery. Service points. 15 love, chase worse than 6. On the chase. 15 all.
Great length and width there. Rewarded. Very rewarding shot on this court.
Good rally too.
Everyone's...
30-15.
I think I'm safe in saying that's everyone's least favourite shot to get beaten by. Lob dead-ons.
No chase, better than 2.
players clearly up for this match. You can see a bit of racket, fist-pumping type of activities on some of those important points.
I'd hazard a guess and say that Leia's almost up for any competitive match that she can get her hands on. one of the fiercest competitors in the ladies' real tennis scene. Of course, vying for the challenge of the Ladies World Championship.
When's that next semi?
I absolutely can't tell you, sorry Pete. I believe it's later this year in England. I can't remember which court. It'll come to me.
Server. Chase better than 2.
There is a new format. It's Challenger Champ.
I have it on full authority. We're talking
Game and the first
May
set.
this year in Newport.
Game 2.
Pays to do your research.
Does indeed. Pays to have a fantastic
Set.
memory. I haven't been told that, but
Yeah.
Straight. Cute. 15 love.
If you're Sass, what are you going to keep doing what you're doing, or are you going to change it up this set?
No, ball's down. Time. Better than 2.
I think he's got 2 options.
15 all.
I don't think she can continue doing what she's doing. Especially against a handicap deficit, I don't think that's a good game plan going into any second set.
And worse than 2.
I think if I were in Sass's shoes here, I'd probably be looking to either get extremely aggressive or extremely tight, consistent that is. I wouldn't really want to play Leia on a floor game only, so I think if I was Sass, I would probably look at getting extremely aggressive on the volleys and start forcing at the dead-ons from the receiving end and driving for the nick at the service end.
30-15 to the receiver. First chase is better than 2. $40-15, chase worse than 2.
Some fantastic statistics there, recorded accurately by Claire and compiled by Ben Gatenbeek.
Chase off, worse than 2.
Good marking.
Score is 40-15. $30-40.
I like this change of service here from Sass as well. Of course, as she goes back to the high serve.
Juice.
Sass very confident, very effective on those forehand volleys.
Yeah, fantastic lawn tennis player, as well as most other racket sports.
Stroke. Advantage, receiver.
Uh-oh.
Stroke. Game. 1 game to love.
I'm a little nervous, Sammy.
I can't remember what that chase was.
And chase worse.
Chase worse than 2 or
6.
chase better than 2?
Feeling was worse.
Level.
It's
15 love.
interesting insight there provided by Ben Gatenbeek on that worse than 2 call.
Ja, goed gespeeld, Sos. Goede service.
30 love.
Perhaps not as well marked as I originally thought.
1 chase. Forty love.
Like that from Sass.
The audience might not be aware, but the Swanner HQ is actually situated in the car park outside the club.
Indeed.
And we've just seen the arrival of Seno and now Ollie doing donuts. So, you know, both on form, I think, really.
It's a good effort doing donuts considering the
Right
car
space.
park's only 5 metres wide.
Yeah.
Predmore, of course, being only half a metre high.
Yeah.
Perfectly fine in this go-kart. Ben, please don't show us. It's incredibly sweaty.
Yeah, in fact, we need a water ladle
Cases
thing to
worse
put on the
than
hot
6.
coals.
Yeah. Yeah.
Service point.
Somewhat unintentional drop shot there from
15
Van der Zwalmen.
40. One fault.
You a big fan of the unintentional drop shot, Pete? I know I am.
I'm more of a mullet fan, really. Those of us in the Tony Coolman management era of the Clothier Cup will know that nothing beats a mullet, Tammy.
No.
One fault.
Was that shot perhaps named after a particular member of that team's flamboyant hairstyle in that era?
Absolutely not.
Love.
I think if you're Sass, you keep going for those shots aggressively. You just accept that you can make some errors.
Yeah. Agreed, Pete. I mean, she's going to find a lot more success driving for the nick and the dead-ons at the receiver's end, potentially getting chases out of any missed dead-ons.
Fault.
Definitely more than trying to run an informed Van der Zwalmen around.
Love. Time, please. Thank you, sir.
So I understand we painted the court just before the Open started.
Did, about a week before the Open started.
Yeah, I haven't been on court since then. Is it playing differently?
It is. Since you played last, it will be playing extremely narrow. You won't have to move very much, which is...
What do you say?
Thanks for those of us, including me, that don't like moving so much.
No. Worse than a yard. Thank you, Leah. One chase, 40
For
love. Worse
those
than
of us
one.
that are a bit shorter in stature and haven't quite got the reach, or perhaps slightly more long in the tooth. up there in the crowd with his lovely mother Barb, joining us at the dinner tonight later as well.
Looking remarkably well, having celebrated his brother's birthday last night, I believe.
Wow. And maybe why
40
we didn't
love,
see him
receiver. Chase is worse than a yard.
in the marker's chair for the match this morning. I believe his name was down.
Lost it. 15-40.
Knowing Rob like I do, I'm sure he was actually at home doing some mental preparation
Stroke.
for this afternoon.
Game.
Writing down notes on his strategy.
Receiver leads 2 games to 1. One fault.
What do you think the strategy is going to be for the dinner match tonight, 6 p.m. with Riviere versus Faye?
Rob's strategy or Cam's strategy?
Rob's strategy. Cam's strategy is,
15 love.
I believe, according to Cam, reasonably simple. It's just go out there and last as long as possible.
One fault.
I think Rob's strategy would be to hit the living suitcase out of every ball he can.
Yeah, I would agree that that'd be the best chance he's got.
No more.
15 all.
I do hope that Rob can try and have some fun up there tonight in front of a home crowd.
Coach.
30-15. One fault.
Sass is doing really well retrieving, and then on the slightly looser ball, she's being very effective.
And
Putting
Chase
away.
better than 3.
Leave the ball to the back wall then. Hobart, at your
30-15
peril.
server.
Yeah, yeah. It's generally accepted that the less you leave, the less bad bounces you get. That's a great series of shots there from Saskia to go 40-15 up in this game. A couple of good points here for 2-all. There's Chris Robertson and Maggie Henderson-Chew parked in second gallery.
Crowd's full of
Can we have
current
some
past
balls actually, please,
world
ladies?
champions,
Thank you.
Sammy.
There are a few kicking around at the minute.
Have a basket of balls.
I even saw Graham Highland at the club earlier this morning. Of course, not a world champion, but top 3 player in his day. And a good friend of Ronaldson and Henderson-Chew. Do you think Pete that Sass would find some success in changing her serving strategy for the latter half of this set, instead of opting to serve the square serves, try and pump in some faster railroads and underarm twists from the back of the court?
It's really interesting that you say that, Sammy, because having watched a fair bit of tennis this week, there's been people are Hobart's a unique court, and people are really struggling, I think, to know what to serve and to execute the serves to their liking. So a lot of the strategy, I think, is people thinking that if I can execute my serves a bit better,
To the receiver.
that's their
Chase
way
better
forward,
than
as
3.
opposed to changing the type of serve they're doing.
I know that's a fallacy that I fall into myself quite a bit on this court.
Won the chase.
Especially when you get that perfect service.
2 games all.
Perfect serve is so rewarding. Gets you aces more often than not.
One fault.
especially with a high serve. Whereas I think restricting what Van der Zwalmen can do into the corners would be beneficial.
Jammer, goed stilstand.
15 love.
Goed Sas.
15 all. Second serve.
So hard to read this
30-15, time please.
There is of course a ski jump just near the winning gallery there, which is difficult to read if the ball is rolling and extremely difficult to read if the ball's bouncing.
All.
Good aggression though.
Yeah.
Great aggression.
Getting good results from the return serve.
40-30.
He's got good power on that volley, Sass. I'd like to see her flatten it out and strike the ball slightly with slightly less spin to get a bit more pace on it. Points with Highland.
Fizzing that ball in there.
Incredibly tight.
Thank you. Has it better than second gallery? Juice. Worse than the door.
Don't think, however, if that was going to go all the way to the back of the court that Leia would have caught up with it.
No, she looked like she might have gone the other way, Sammy.
Yeah.
Interesting 5 minutes, I think, coming up here. I feel like Saskia sort of got herself back into the game somewhat.
This is an incredibly important couple of points here for 3-2 up in this
Score is
set.
Juice. First chase is Hazard. Better than second gallery.
So we're joined in the commentary booth by Paddy Dunn.
Chase worse than the door.
I think that's the first boast return we've
Worse than the
seen.
door.
Yeah, we haven't seen either player use the fat boast.
No.
Faults. Time. Second serve. Deuce. Shot. Advantage server.
Layer just attempted to slide that one in, just gave Sass some time to come in aggressively.
And Hazard the
Got out of
door.
trouble.
Sass's length on those high serves is varying quite a bit, Pete. Do you think she's doing that on purpose to try and catch out Van Zwalmen on a slightly shorter one?
Don't know. Let's say yes. Let's say it's part of her cunning strategy.
Advantage to the receiver. Chase Hazard the door. No. Second serve.
The unpredictability of the penthouse generally works in the service favour.
Sense of that coming.
Good on it,
Receiver leads 3 games to 2.
but can also mean second post in a matter of a minute or two from the player.
15 love.
Can also mean a serve that off the racket looks like it's going to be quite good, ends up being rubbish.
Down 30 love.
Yeah, I think serving on this court is
Time. Sash, you okay with that ball? Thank you.
primarily an exercise in controlling what your opponent is going to do with the ball rather than
30 love.
trying to make them do something that you want them to do with the ball.
40
Which in
love.
hindsight is exactly the same thing. I haven't worded that sentence particularly well.
I thought it was quite deep.
It's
15-40.
I'm still moving on from you using less when you meant fewer about 10 minutes ago.
countable nouns are a pain in the proverbial.
Ball. Second serve.
Not something I have to think about on the daily as a musician.
Game. 3 games all.
Are you one of those subhumans that uses verses? Who am I versing today?
No, I
Thank
don't
goodness.
stoop that low.
Nice
15 love.
shake of the racket there from layout.
One fault.
Bit
30
lucky
love.
there. Must be so hard on court.
Okay, so
15-30.
I know many of the crowd, Sammy, through the day have been resorting to 5 or 10 minutes in the club room where the air
40-15.
conditioner's on, just to recover their senses before they get back out.
It's an effective strategy. An effective strategy. Big fan of. Big fan of air conditioning, personally.
Good job.
30-40. Time. Thank you, Leah.
It's an important couple of points here for Saskia. She's going to really want to be up that service end for the next next game and passenger play.
That's lovely. Time, please. Ball up, please, Leah. Score is deuce.
She's finding plenty of value from that slow volley down the line. Even if it's missing the dead-ons there, it's catching Leah slightly off guard and giving her an easier next ball.
And the last gallery. Ball up. Deuce, one chase. One fault. Advantage.
Peter, are you a fan of the drag in the Hobart court? I know it's a particularly effective serve on courts with a slightly slicker penthouse, but it can serve up some interesting balances here. What are your thoughts and feelings on the drag?
Very tough serve, I think, on a foreign court to get absolutely right. Certain I've seen Steve Vigona serve that relatively effectively.
Advantage to the server. Chase the last gallery.
I think it's got some value as a change-up serve.
Service point.
As good as in there.
Again. Server leads 4 games to 3.
Difference there is telling. First ball from Leia sort of floated in, not too aggressive. Sass came in, smoked a volley into the grill.
I like that, finding the back wall first.
30-15.
Second one, much more aggression. And actually the third one about in the middle.
Yeah. Points for 5-3 up for Sass here.
And a chase. More than yard worse than the last gallery.
I think we'll have to call that one the Moulet.
Beautiful shot.
40-15 to the
Interesting to see how they
receiver.
respond to a bit of pressure on her for the
More
first
than a
time.
yard worse than the last
Quite a long time.
gallery.
It's really the start of the match.
One fault.
Fortunate one bounce bobble.
30-40.
Flirting with the service line dangerously.
Deuce.
Potentially Saskia feeling the pressure here at 4-3 up against the second seed.
And Chase, better than 4.
Wow. That one has come out
Deuce.
significantly straighter than expected.
Timelier. All up, please.
Even evident from
You
the
okay
camera
with
angle
that?
there.
Okay. One fault. Advantage. And Chase.
John Woods Casey there offering some encouragement.
This call can be diabolical when you get a few bad bounces or you misread a couple of balls. Suddenly every shot from your opponent feels like a grenade.
It's known for serving up the inconsistencies thick and fast, especially when you really don't need them.
Advantage to the server. Chase better than 4.
Commentator support Dizzle just giving us some advice there about some Ted Lasso stuff.
Advantage to the receiver. Out of court. Game.
Just like that.
4 games all. 4.
One target you don't want to find going over
15
there.
love. And Chase.
Good aggression.
Worse than 5. The last gallery, 2 chases.
Well found gallery. I know if I was on court, I'd certainly wanting to be reducing the length of these points. It's an especially sweaty endeavour today. As we see Lewis Williams with an incredibly long pink strip of rock tape on his forearm.
Claire clearly enjoying herself. I'm not sure if she understands the role of marking. You need to be very serious.
This is what everyone tells you.
Don't look like you're enjoying yourself.
This is what everyone tells you, but I think it's
15 love to the server. First chase is worse than 5.
it's important to be having a good time, whatever you're doing in a tennis club. Making balls, marking.
Service point, 30 love. Chase the last gallery.
sure Ted Lasso's got something on finding the enjoyment in the small things.
On fault. On the chase, 15-30.
A lot less cut on that ball from Sass then. Just,
Nice and direct.
yeah.
And chase better than 2.
Nice with that
Good first dig.
30-15.
Got a lot of value.
40-15, one chase.
one. The underutilised corner at the receiver's end there.
Players' preparation there, in racket preparation, really allows her to spear that ball in down under the winning gallery, but also hold it and then still get it cross court.
Robin. The mother and stepfather of John Woods Casey there in the galleries. Robin seems to be sporting a wrist brace there.
40-15 to the receiver. Chase better than 2.
We'll look into that, get our reporters on the case.
Yeah, definitely.
We lost the chase. 30-40.
A couple of important serves here coming up. Love the choice of the back row there.
Yeah. Layer hit a safe shot.
Deuce.
Sass came in, pounced on it.
Advantage to the server. Has it better than 2?
So, as we've been saying, it's pretty hot today. Sammy, do you reckon players would rather play in the heat or the Arctic temperatures that most of the World Opens are played in?
Well, I personally would prefer not to have to play in extreme temperatures, but it's not possible to play in spring and autumn all the time. I think players would prefer to play in the cold purely on...
Advantage to the receiver. Chase Hazard better than 2.
on an acclimatisation basis, because most of the players are from the northern
Time.
hemisphere where it's
Quiet, please.
gets significantly colder than it
Hazard
does
better
here.
than 2. Deuce.
I reckon you might be right on the court, but I'm pretty sure most of them are pretty happy off the court when it's warm.
Fault.
The Americans have come up with the solution for that. It's just air condition the tennis courts. It's an easy solution. Just requires lots of cash.
The last gallery.
Sass,
Deuce.
recognising that she's getting a lot more value out of the server's end. It'll be interesting to see the percentage points won.
Well,
Just hitting a lot of her shots with intent.
It is in fact so hot in the van now, I'm really struggling to think.
Yeah.
There is one thing about the heat that it's well known to depress the brain cells in primary functions. That's why everyone goes on holiday to Queensland.
Advantage, receiver, chase the last gallery. And the game. It's 5 games to 4.
Leah with a late lead in this set. He's going to be wanting to finish this one as quickly as possible. High quality race from both players there.
15 love.
They are showing off some rackets boasting there.
These guys have
15
forgotten
all.
that we've got the world's smallest grill and it's really hard to hit.
Stroke. 30-15.
Had an interesting conversation with Brett McFarlane the other week about the grill count in Melbourne versus Hobart.
Suggesting
30
it
all.
was double in Hobart.
No, it was a conversation about the frequency of the grill being hit in matches.
And chase.
I think it came up
Really
when
are
I
worse than the last gallery. 30 all.
when I suggested to him that I should be aiming for the grill less, and
40-30.
didn't quite connect with that one. Yeah, I think that Brett's final point was that if you're aiming, the final point boiled down to the fact that if you're aiming for the grill, you shouldn't miss it. The way that he got to that was if you're aiming for a very small point in Hobart, i.e. the grill, the point at which you're aiming is smaller. The term is aim small, miss small. Whereas if you're aiming for a bigger target, your misses are
40-30
likely
to the
be further off
receiver.
target.
Nearly a yard worse than the last gallery.
I of course
It's too hot for
disagreed.
me. It's too hot for me to deconstruct that.
Yeah, I agree.
Doubles down. Deuce.
So they just 2 points from the match, but also 2 points from a 5-all.
Crucial use for both players.
No chase. Chase worse than 4. Deuce.
Great to see Saskia making that decision to go down the line at this point in the game.
Advantage.
What do you think, Pete, is the best serve to go for Sass here on chase? Worse than 4 advantage down. Seem to have stumped him. He's got to.
It's really hot in here, mate.
Yes.
I'm probably thinking for Sass it's a fast railroad, hoping to get a loose volley that either doesn't beat the chase or certainly is up and on the back wall enough that she gets
Advantage to the
ping
receiver.
down the
Chase worse than 4.
Potentially leave it to lose the chase.
She went with the penthouse.
Game, set, and the match. 6-4.
Great quality match there. I think Saskia should be very happy with their performance there. Managed to put Leia under a lot of pressure in the latter half of that second set. There you go. Percentage serves 1. Saskia not quite doing the business at either end, but nonetheless putting a heap of pressure on the number 2 seed. Certainly leading in the winning opening count. An hour and 15 minutes of sweating later, and we've got.
I'm exhausted. The players must be absolutely spent.
It's 10 past 3 in Hobart now. We've got a good 3-hour gap until the next match at 6 p.m. I'm sure everyone's going to be looking to go to the beach, potentially find an air-conditioned room and lie down for a bit.
I'm going to go home and nap like a boss.
That sounds like a great plan, Pete.
Yeah.
Well, from us in the commentary van, including Paddy Dunn. Please excuse me. I've got my times wrong. The next match of the day is in fact Cam vs Rob, and it's right now. It's likely to be even hotter. No one's going to be having a nap. Everyone's going to be out on the beach after this.
Sammy.
I got everyone's hopes up,
Yeah.
including mine.
Yeah.
Turns out it's too hot to even think. Thoroughly disappointed at that result.
Do we know who our commentators are for the next?
I believe we've got Arsenal Chairman Alistair Curley joining you.
Joining me?
Not you specifically, joining the ladies and gentlemen at home in the van. And Ben Taylor Matthews for at least a set or 2. Depends on how many beers I can buy him, I think.